Jackie's living it.
Okay, now you're.
Is it like what did you miss most or something?
No, it was like,
There's one
if
about
you,
that.
it was like, if you named your child what you crave for.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I got that. That's what I meant.
Venom 2 movie.
I'm used to that.
Christmas ornaments. Nice. All right. So what is a sanction? Give examples of positive and negative sanction. So we talked about sanctions
No.
not too long ago. Did we?
No.
Yeah, we did.
Well, it's something that's the government issue.
Mm,
I'm looking
okay. So I'll give you some
it
time.
up.
You have to look up what a sanction is. I know we reviewed it before.
We didn't have a bell here.
Nope. It was the first one. So there you go. Let that one in sanction. Oh, all right.
I heard the those credits good.
Oh yeah. Don't want to ruin it though.
Already found that out.
What?
Looked it up on-
Really?
Can a positive sanction be something that's like not positive for the person it's happening to, but positive for the community, or is that not what you mean?
So usually it's
Because like going to jail helps the community.
straight to jail. Oh, I forgot all about that.
That reminds you.
It's like a reward for an action. That's what a sanction, like a positive sanction would be. So it's almost like you do something, you gain a reward for it.
But you get a reward for getting the person that you wanted.
Straight to jail. Yes,
Like a bail? No. It's called.
straight to jail. Here we go. Oh. You're running today. Where are you running? Uh-oh. How far is that?
It's just, like, from my house to, like, I go off this bridge and then up the top of the.
Jeez.
Are you doing that? Mountain run?
No, that's a 24-hour run. I helped out with that last year, but I always have softball the next day, so I could only do like a 6-hour one.
Are you gonna have homework tonight?
Mm,
Now it's like 7 to 7.
You know, we should have a day in here where we bring in food from different cultures.
I was thinking about that.
Like actually,
Yeah.
From the country that we did.
I'm
Mm,
bringing a shrunken skull.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I'll take Australia for us, I guess. Yeah. We better stop.
There's stuff.
Well, we can do like a party.
They don't like it. I'll
What
just
should I
try.
say? Oh, I think.
I'll take a last picture. That week that they live on the business line. This is the part.
okay. All right. So what is a sanction? What do we have here? Chris, what's a sanction?
Sanction, oh, I.
Oh, okay. So you only gave examples. You didn't define what a sanction is.
Is an action
Geez, you're at like the international level there. I'm
It
like
says
breaking it
threatening
down
penalty for
individually.
disobeying the law.
All right, there you go. Okay, so some could be positive, some could be negative, right? So what is a positive sanction? Taylor? Okay, yeah. Are you conformist? Are you conformist? Just kidding. That you're conforming to society. So that means like, oh, hey, you got a good grade? Well, I'll give you a reward here. So you did good on the test, means you get a good grade, you get an A plus. That means you go home, you get that, placed it on the refrigerator at home. I don't know if that makes you feel happy or not. Does it for you, Chris? You take your test? Well, I guess we do them online anymore. Huh? The belt?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so what's another example of, let's say, a positive sanction? What example do you come up with, Leah? Geez, okay. All right, you get some ransom money, huh? So Dog the Bounty Hunter, when he finds Brian Launder. Gee, what? The dog. I'm the dog. Big bad dog.
He's like in North Carolina. or something.
Is that where he's at?
That's what I heard.
I think he's like in the swamps in Florida.
Well, they said that they.
I thought he was on the Appalachian.
said that they saw
He's
him
everywhere.
on-
Yeah, did you hear that he was in New York at a bar, like right after he killed her? And then,
What?
yeah, then he's telling,
Did you hear about the monster can?
What is happening?
What?
Where's he at?
so like, he was in a bar in Florida right after he killed her. And then people asked him where he's from.
I thought you said New York.
So this is the part, and then they asked him where he's from, and he wanted to say Florida. So he said, I'm from New York. They're making fun of him because they're calling him New Yorker and stuff.
Oh,
And then he like screamed at them when he was drunk, saying like, what's his name? Yeah, my name's Brian. Something like that. Yeah, and then he took off.
holy cow. All right, yeah.
He's a psychopath. So we didn't find that guy.
He's an
No,
example of
they're
negative
saying
sanctions.
straight to jail.
Straight to jail. Yes, all right, so.
He's on the run. I think he wants to go to California. That's what I
All right,
heard.
let's gather it back here. Let me get through this. You can talk about Dog the Bounty Hunter here soon. So anyway, positive sanction, you're receiving something for a behavior, okay, or something that you've done. All right, so that being said, a pay raise, good example. All right, I don't know, good grades if you do well on the test. So those are some examples of that. Maybe if you do, I don't know, a chore around the house, maybe you get a pay raise. I don't know, some money from your parents or a pizza. I like pizza. Or a nice coffee, right? Yeah. Woo. Yeah, or you just get another ornament and hang on a tree.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Negative sanctions. What are negative sanctions here?
Jail.
Jail. Yeah, okay. So this is something like a punishment, right? This is something that is a punishment to enforce some sort of conformity to your society. So if you break a law, most likely you're going to get fined. Okay, and then you're going to try to, let's say it's a speeding ticket. Let's say you're driving real fast to get to, I don't know, Dunkin'. Yeah, you're driving real fast, get to Dunkin', get pulled over, you get fined. Well, what are you going to do? Probably next time, slow down. You're going to conform to that law. Does that make sense? All right, so yeah, you get a negative action from your actions. Okay. Huh? Expelled from school.
I'm out there in the corner.
Yeah, okay. So what would you do to get expelled? A lot of different things. Let's not get into that. Yeah, so there's obviously superiority to it. If you commit a crime, if you murder someone, you go to jail, straight to jail. Or you could be put to death yourself. Oh my gosh. Depending on what society you're in, culture.
I don't think we do
Death penalty. Oh.
It's just you're in prison for life and not.
There's always
Yeah, that's
excuse
what I'm
that they
saying.
have.
He thinks that he's in North Carolina for this so much. Sarah's really in on this case.
Sarah is. That's all she wants to talk about.
And the
All right.
bachelor.
So you guys good with sanctions?
Yeah.
You guys understand the positive effects, all right? Maybe the negative. It's just try to how do you push someone to conform to a society. All right. Okay, moving on here. Just have one term for you today. That's it. Just one. We have cultural change. Cultural change. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. And there's different ways about this. Obviously, people that are stuck with traditional values, they might have an effect, a negative effect. The point where they react out loud on social media, maybe. Maybe they're terrorizing the town because of this cultural change. That's
Really like boys.
I think they use that whole box of tissue.
I was just like,
Those stuff.
At least you have like.
Yeah.
I just realized it. I mean, I can take.
That's my real sneeze.
Fake sneeze? Let's see it.
That's what I said.
do it now.
She's,
You called it out.
she's lying.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
So wait,
She's scared now.
I think so too. I think so too. Does the actual snot fly out? Achoo.
That was so.
No, that was it. Some light one.
Yeah, but that's like my real sneeze.
Some people sneeze like that. It's funny.
Never. My grandpa screams when he sees that. He's in a basement on the other side of the house.
My girlfriend like holds her nose. She holds her nose. That's what I said. I'm like, your eyes are gonna fly out of your head soon. It sounds weird too. She goes, it's like that sounds way worse. And I'm pretty sure your eyes are gonna bulge out of your head if you do it again. All right, so moving on here. What is cultural change? What does that mean? Go ahead, Leah.
Emphasizes the influence of cultural capital on individual and community.
All right, so we're going to talk about some different ways of culture could change in societies. And what examples can maybe you come up with off the top of your head? Roy, how can culture change? What? Why didn't you bring up anything about Christmas? Someone's smash them all.
Christmas is ruined.
Yeah. Leah, go ahead.
Culture can change based on different things posted on social media or different politics or different movies or different just like different generations come up with new ideas, things become more accepted.
So technology. All right. Maybe we can say environment.
Definitely.
Yeah. Maybe we can say, you said political atmosphere. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, when I was your age, I had really no clue about government. Now all you guys are like, oh, left and right, oh, fighting each other. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But anyway, what else? Maybe a country taking over another country. Imperialism, right, Tegan? Yeah, sure. Okay, all right. Yeah. So there's different examples of how culture can change drastically. Maybe a pandemic. Yeah, it changed quite a bit, right? Yeah, let's not talk about it. Well, we're gonna have to a little bit today. Okay, so moving on here. Moving on. Huh? Where is this here? There's a couple. That's fine. Do I have to relay it with you before I do anything? Pretty crazy. All right, so let's see if I can edit this actually. Oh, I can. Oh, no, that's what I want to do. All right, here we go. All right, so real quick, we talked about folkways. We talked about mores. We talked about sanctions. We talked about values. So where do you think they all fall? Let's see, where do we start? Where do we start? So blank are used to enforce blank, 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 which are types of blank that are based on blank. Oh, great work. Sanctions are used to enforce what? Folkways. Mores, okay. What's another one? Laws, good work. Good work. Oh, why did that? Oh, I messed it up. I missed the wrong thing. So values, and then which are types of what? Types of what? So we have sanctions are used to enforce folkways, mores, laws, which are types of Huh?
Cultural
Oh,
norms.
crap.
Is it norms?
There you go. There you go. Norms that are based on values. There you go. Taylor, you got that? You want to put your phone away for me, please? Thank you. All right. So moving on here. So how can culture change? Well, three main reasons where we can see culture change. We have discovery. Discovery, right? Like the class we have right around lunch. No?
Is that in
Oh, I guess not. Invention and diffusion. So three ways that three reasons how culture can change. So let's start with discovery. How can discovery result in culture change? What do you think? Bree? Discover something new. Okay.
For example, like you come to another culture that they have it differently than what you have.
Maybe you want to apply those to your own. Good job. Yeah. So maybe you go to another culture, you see exactly how they do things, how they perform daily actions, whatever. Their values, and you want to apply it to your own. So you bring it along with. Good. Leah?
medical discoveries, how we have to hold masks now, like that was a discovery. And now we learned to
Protect others. Okay. All right. Yeah. So discovery through research. Good example. Roy? Geez, are you going to sigh every time I call on
They
you?
already said the things that I would say, like discovering something new.
All right. Yeah. Good work. Pretty self-explanatory. So recognition or gain of better understanding of already existing elements present in our environment. So good example, this might be a way of, obviously meet a family, meet a group of people. They perform things that maybe you want to apply to your own culture, right? Your own idea of values. And this is how we maybe discover new values, new tendencies, new traditions that we can apply to our own. So I gave the example of cell phone out of the microchip here. So when I'm looking through my phone here, it's like, oh, there's a microchip in here. Oh, look at that. Cool. There's a SIM card. Geez, didn't know that was in there. There's a microphone here. Listen to everything I do, especially when it comes to advertisement on social media pages. Scary, spooky. Man, that vaccine. Microchip. Oh, wow. Right, Chris? Yeah. All right. So yeah, discovery. All right. So we discover new aspects of life that we can maybe apply to our own. That could totally change our culture. Madden, right, with government. The founding fathers, looking back to the influential, the Enlightenment thinkers, looking back to the colonial heritage, right? Yeah. They're looking back to who else? England.
Thanks.
Say it again. Maybe she'll fake sneeze. All right. Invention. So process where society changes or creates a new element. So a good example where sociology really became a respected field and really known is through what? Industrialization. So through that phase, through these new innovations, these new inventions, through a total shift and advancement of society as a whole to make really the standard of living increase for many individuals. We have invention. We have new capabilities that can apply to our culture and change it forever. Phones, social media. Yeah, when I was younger, I didn't have a phone. Facebook wasn't even a thing. Instagram wasn't a thing. But I couldn't imagine my life without it now. Right? I think we all can agree to that. Hunting, I just picked up hunting. I like going out hunting now. Even when I miss. Darn it. But anyway, invention, these new capabilities, right? Software, technology, advancements within our society that will change it forever. So those are some clear examples that maybe you can talk about. Bachelor in Paradise.
on tonight.
Flashing lights and ornaments. Who would ever thought? All right, diffusion. Process of spreading cultural traits from society to society. So this kind of falls like with discovery and how we can maybe accept these other cultural aspects, okay, from other societies around the world. I usually get Chinese once a week. Call it like Chinese Sundays. Sunday scaries. Ooh, I don't want to go to work on Monday, so I get Chinese to just let it go a little bit easier.
Every,
Sushi too. I started making my own sushi.
Sushi's
Oh,
disgusting.
well.
See those rolls?
ever
Pretty
have,
good.
Wasabi?
Wasabi.
Like,
Yeah.
raw wasabi.
No,
Yeah, I did that last weekend. I almost died.
really.
Yeah. I had, like, 2 scoops of it. Oh, yeah. And then-
That's a green mush.
No,
Right?
fire was coming out of my nose. Like, I couldn't.
It's a
like,
dragon.
I couldn't hear
It's like
anything.
Madden sneezing.
And like literally like went down. It just went like.
What made you think it was a good idea?
I don't know.
Why not?
So I never tried it because I watched the movie Jackass with Steve-O. He snorts it,
Oh,
and it oh
no,
no,
like.
I don't ever want to try it.
I'll show you the
Yeah. So anyway, diffusion. We're picking up these cultural trait, these values, and other societies, and applying it to our very own. And I think we all can agree that with the United States, this melting pot. Okay, we have Italians that lived in China, Italians that lived and visited everywhere around the world, right, Chris? And you're applying it to your culture. You're a good example. You experienced it all pretty much, man. Lucky you. Good for you.
South America.
You're never there yet?
Oceania, South America.
Wait, you were there?
No, those are like Europe, Asia.
So
No, not half. Yeah,
what's with all the travel here? What caused all
My
this?
dad.
It's in the military? Okay, that's
That's
nice. Nice. Cool. All right, so you guys good with discovery, invention, and diffusion? See how that could maybe alter or change cultures, societies? Yeah, all right. So other reasons for culture change, we have physical environment. So the environment may provide conditions that encourage or discourage cultural change. So importing foods, natural disasters, change in resource supplies. So this could alter our environment, especially with natural disasters. Right? So environmental impacts, hurricanes, tornadoes. So it really literally could destroy a community where you can act like Patrick, we're gonna take Bikini Bottom and move it over here. You guys ever see that episode?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So changing the physical environment. Another threat to environment may be the introduction of different organisms, insects, right? Like the spotted lanternflies. I killed. I did too.
There's so many, isn't there?
High
breeding
five.
time?
We're
Yeah.
protecting our environment
Is it
here.
like their breeding time? God, I've just been seeing so many.
Yeah. So I think they first emerged in PA, like in Philadelphia, coming from a lot of the harbor, obviously the harbor there, the river coming in, and so Reading was hit big last year, 2 years ago, and yeah, I just saw my first one at my house yesterday. Gave it the hee-ho elbow drop, 5-knuckle shuffle, crushed it. Wars and conquests. And we already kind of talked about that already with the bell ringer. But the wars and conquests, so how that could change culture drastically. Obviously, invade another nation, imperialize their area, let's say, take over their land. They have to adhere to your culture, your society. And with many immigrants coming to the United States, specifically in the 1800s, moving up to the 1900s, there's a viewpoint called Americanization. So where these immigrant groups had to adhere to American society. If they didn't, well, they were beaten up, thrown in jail, or oftentimes killed, straight to jail. All right. So what happens when a society changes or alters very quickly? What do you think? What happens to the population? What may occur?
A decrease
How could population decrease?
in sickness,
Sickness, disease. Okay.
people leaving, they don't want to go.
Think back to Emil Durkheim. What did he study?
Suicide.
Oh, suicide. Yep. Okay. So yeah, high rates of suicide. So if culture changes drastically in a fast pace, pace, this could really alter the community. Okay, especially people that are stuck in traditional values, cultural aspects, result into a lot of suicide, unfortunately. So with the pandemic, that's a good example. Suicide rates rose drastically all across the world because of quarantine and way of life changes drastically. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate. I couldn't go to any sporting events. Darn it. Really, no sporting events were on TV at all, right? Oh, it's terrible. I remember I was watching Korean baseball, of all things. I don't really like baseball too much to watch. I watch it here and there, but Korean baseball was the only thing we had to offer. So I loved it. There I was throwing money down on teams and players I've never heard of. So crazy stuff. All right. Is there any questions on cultural change? You guys good? Make sure you remember the 3 reasons how culture could change here and different environmental impacts, obviously. All right. That's all I got for today. Thinking of test here soon.